Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing pick'ems for the VCT 2024 America's Kickoff Tournament. They just released the bracket today, and I'm really excited to get into it. First off, we got a very interesting group coming up. Energy versus Furia. I'm going to take Energy in this one. They've just got a really good roster on paper, and even though Furia they've looked decent. They've looked up and down, honestly, in some of these off-season tournaments, with MW's era still popping off and them still losing games. So I still think NRG are the more safer bet here, and they're probably most likely going to win this group. Cloud9, MIBR. I'm going to take Cloud9. MIBR, they've got a kind of mixed bag, jumbled up rosters, a couple up and coming talent, but mostly just recycled talent from the Brazilian scene. So I'm going to take Cloud9 over there. I think the veteran calling experience of Vanity will come into handy in a first round matchup against these guys. I don't really have a lot of faith or stock in MIBR, so even then, I don't think they're going to win a single match in this kickoff tournament, and I don't think they're going to win a lot of matches all year. If we go to the winners bracket, I think NRG takes this one. This is a really interesting matchup because it's Cloud9. They have a little more time together. They have a little more experience together playing in a lot of these off-season tournaments. Whereas Energy have a better roster on paper. Don't get me wrong, but they started practicing a little later because they had to get Demon One's contract and Ethan's contract from EG. So I'll still favor Energy. I still think they've got the veteran experience. They've got the coaching and structure behind them to really create a good system, especially with the Sky Nerfs. I think the Sky Nerfs kind of hinder Cloud9 a bit because of Zeppa really likes to play that, and it's going to force more Sova and Gecko, which they don't really have a committed Sova player on their team, and I don't think either Vanity or Zeppa, who are the two initiator players, have picked up a lot of the Gecko, so I'm going to take Energy to qualify in this first spot. Furia, MIBR, pretty simple. I think Furia are going to take this one. I don't have a lot of stock in MIBR. Even though the coaching staff, Fraud teaming up with Bazooka should be interesting. They could cook up some stuff, but I still think Furia is going to be the better roster on paper, and I'm actually going to take Furia to go ahead and qualify in this decider matchup. They've played twice already, Cloud9 and Furia, in this offseason. And I know what you're going to say. They played an offseason tournament. It doesn't matter. Cloud9 played a lot. They were probably tired. But overall, I think Furia handled that rematch so much better than Cloud9 did. They lost the original game 2-1 in a very close affair. And then Furia just came back. And I'm pretty sure they stomped them really good. If we take a look at their stats, let's see. There. I guess you can't look at the stats. But yeah, Furia Energy, they're going to qualify from this group. Now we've got Group B, the Group of Death. This is very interesting. Loud versus Sentinels, first match of this group. I mean, I'm going to take Sentinels, but honestly, it could go either way. Loud, they've picked up a new player in QCK for Aspas. Obviously a downgrade because Aspas is one of the best players in the world. But, I mean, they're still going to be a good team. They've got a lot of structure behind them. Cowanzi and Les are phenomenal players. Sadak is a great IGL. But still, I think I'm going to take Sentinels and the experience, the off-season tour, as they call it, where they played a bunch of events. I'm going to take them over Loud. Leviathan, 100 Thieves, I'm going to take Leviathan. They've had a bit more time together, even though they, made a roster addition, adding Calm and putting Nosmer on the bench. I still think Leviathan has the raw firepower to outmuster a Thieves team that'll be preparing strats and protocols, but not be fully they won't be fully baked yet. They won't be a fully cooked meal, if this reference makes any sense. They're going to have some holes. They're going to have some protocols that aren't that deep, and I think Leviathan will just have the sheer firepower to break through some of those protocols. In the winners matchup, I think Sentinels are going to take this one. It could go either way. I could see Leviathan winning this one, but I'm going to give the edge to Sentinels because they've seemed to have got a more cohesive team environment, whereas the team environment on Leviathan as of recent, because of the whole Calm Noswer drama with Aspas as well, created some confusion. I don't think Leviathan will be as ready to go for this match. I don't think they'll be as dialed in mentally. Loud, 100 Thieves, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with Loud. I know it's sad to see either one of these two teams go out in two because a lot of them will have promise, and I think Thieves will, start to go up as the year goes on as they get more strats, but I think Loud will be more fully fleshed out, have more strats ready to go, and just be, just a better team overall in this first matchup. And Leviathan, Loud, this one's a tricky one for me because normally I go with the more experienced core over the star players, but I still think I have to go with Leviathan. On paper, they're just such a great roster. And honestly, it's sad that both Loud and 100 Thieves are that there's two that have to go home from this group, and Loud and 100 Thieves are probably the two most likely to go home from this group, and that's pretty sad to see, especially when we look at Group C, which consists of Crew, G2, and Evil Geniuses. And now I'm very high on G2. I think this is really good for them to make it through. I think I'm just going to go and unlock this in. I don't see a world where they lose either of these matchups, and I think this sets them up really in a really good spot to qualify for Madrid, because now they haven't shown as many strats. They'll probably get through both of these matchups without dropping a map in my eyes. I don't see them losing to Crew. I don't see them losing to Evil Geniuses. It's that simple. Now this matchup here gets a little interesting. I'm going to go with Crew just because they've had more time together, and you know, the Kesnet factor. He'll be, if they can get him on Rays, he's really good on Rays. I think he'll just be a game changer in this matchup, because Evil Geniuses will be trying to, you know, figure out their strats, figure out their protocols, and their map pool might not be as deep, as Crew has had a lot more time to prepare. Though I still, you know, the Evil Geniuses roster on paper could make some waves. I could easily see it being an Evil Geniuses win and them qualifying to the next stage, but I'm going to take Crew on this one. And of course, as we know, the second seed qualifying through will go into a group stage, which we don't have pick'ems for, but I'm just going to do who I predict to go through from Furia, Leviathan, and Crew Esports. I think Leviathan, yeah, hands down, I think I have to go with Leviathan. Leviathan will be that fourth team making it to the playoff rounds, and so that'll be very interesting to see who they match up against, NRG, Sentinels, or G2. I believe it's of Pool A, I believe, is that who they'll match up against. So we might see an NRG Leviathan matchup and a Sentinels G2 matchup. Honestly, those are going to be very interesting if they do happen. I predicted Sentinels and G2 in my other video to make it to Madrid. Go watch that video if you haven't already. It's very interesting tier list video. And yeah, I think that G2 or Sentinels, one of them probably won't make it, but I still have high stocks in G2 to make it to Madrid, despite what people say. I really think they're going to perform. They have the Americas League MVP in my eyes, Leaf, coming over to their roster playing Duelist, and if they can keep him on Duelist and not, well, even if Trent plays the Rays, I don't mind that, but if they can keep him on Duelist, I think that's where he has the most impact. He's very good at finding out information, and just a very good entry player, great op player all around. He does it all around. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. I'm going to do other pick'ems on VCT EMEA and VCT Pacific, so be tuned for that. And yeah, like and subscribe if you like this type of content, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.